Okay, so now first of all, let's modify or write some code inside the app engine underscore config.py file. Okay, so now this file will be used to give special instructions to the Google Cloud App Engine. Okay, so first of all, we have to import the Python module of Google Cloud App Engine. So we have from google.appengine.ext import vendor. Okay, so with this we have imported a module called as vendor. Okay, and now inside vendor, so we have to do vendor dot add, and now inside brackets we are going to pass in the name of lib. Okay, so now with this we have basically told App Engine that we also want to add in the contents which are inside the lib folder. Okay, so any modules like Flask or Jinja templates which we'll be using for this particular projects will be installed inside a lib folder. So we'll be creating the lib folder shortly when we'll be installing the packages from requirements.txt file, but there will be a lib folder created over here which will hold all of our libraries, and we are telling Google Cloud to add that folder as well while you are deploying all of our app. Okay, so this is all that we are going to specify in the App Engine config file. So let me recap. We have imported the vendor, which is a module from the Google App Engine Python library, and then we are going to add the lib folder. So everything that is inside the lib folder, which is not created but it will be created shortly, then everything that is inside the lib folder will also be deployed while we are deploying our app. Okay, so now after this, let's go on to requirements.txt file. Okay, so now inside the requirements.txt file, we have to specify what all requirements are there for this particular project. Okay, so by requirements, I mean what all modules or what all Python packages do we need for this particular project. Okay, so the first one is Flask, and after giving the name of the package, we also have to specify a version. Okay, so after Flask, we have double equal to, and then we have 1.0.2. Okay, so this is the current version of Flask that is being used. And if you want to check the current version or the current active version, then there is a good way. So go to pypi, which stands for Python package index, and over here you can simply put in the name of the package which you want. So if you want Flask, then you have Flask and the version is 1.0.2. so that is what we are currently using. Okay, so then we have another different library which is Workzeug. Okay, so I don't know how to pronounce it exactly, so it is WERKZEUG. Okay, and this library is just used to format our request in a better way. So there is a particular way of formatting your request which is according to the WSGI standard, and due to that formatting, it is better or it is more efficient for different browsers to understand what you are trying to tell them. Okay, so that formatting will be handled by this particular library. Okay, so now let's specify the version for Workzeug. So over here we are going to specify a version in a different fashion. Okay, so first of all we have a less than arrow. Okay, and inside less than we have 0.13.0, then we have a comma, then we have a greater than, and then we have an equal to sign, and then we have 0.12.0. Okay, so this essentially means that we want a Workzeug installation and the version of that particular installation should be less than 0.13.0, but it should be greater than or equal to 0.12.0. Okay, so this means that any version in between these particular libraries, so 0.12.0 and 0.13.1 is perfectly fine. And this is because let's look at the current version of Workzeug. Okay, so currently the 0.14.1 version is being active, but we don't want that version, and that is because we'll be using some functionality which is dropped support for those particular functionality in 0.14.1, and this is not a big problem for our project because still it is not a huge very large project which will be involving a lot of different files, but for now it is always a good practice to specify the version on which you have tested your app thoroughly. Okay, so with this we have created a requirements.txt file. Okay, so now to install the files in the install the modules in the requirements.txt file, let's first of all navigate into the directory where we have requirements.txt. So if we do ls over here, then we have the hello world directory. So we have cd space hello world. Okay, and then inside the hello world, let's do ls again. Okay, so over here, as you can see, we have the requirements.txt file. Okay, and now from the requirements.txt file, we want to install all of our packages. So to do that, we have pip install, and now we want to specify the requirements.txt file. Okay, so before doing that, we also have to specify a particular destination where you want to install all of these dependencies or all of these modules. And inside the app engine underscore config, we have specified that we are going to be using the lib directory. Okay, so let's specify the lib directory over here. So we have the -t flag. Okay, and then we have lib. So the -t flag only copies all of the installed dependencies inside a lib folder. Then we have the -r flag. Then we have requirements.txt. Okay, so with this we have specified that we want to install all of the files from requirements.txt file. Okay, and you may run into some permission errors, so let's add sudo at the start. Okay, sudo gives you super user access, so it is just like running something in administrator mode in Windows. Okay, so with this you should be installed all of the different dependencies. Okay, so now we have installed the dependencies, and as you can see we have a lib folder created over here. Okay, so that is pretty much it for this particular lecture. In this lecture we created the app engine underscore config file and also the requirements.txt file, and inside the app engine.config we gave instructions as to copy all of the contents from the lib directory when you are deploying the app. So if you look inside the lib directory, we have a lot of different folders which have been created. Okay, and in the requirements.txt file we have specified the exact module and the version which we want to use for our particular app.